Shri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Sai Satcharitra An Insight-Episode-28. My humble prostrations at the lotus feet of our Sadguru Sai. By the divine grace of Sai, an attempt has been made to translate the gist of the divine discourse of Sri Ramanathan brother telecasted in Sai TV. This is purely done to share the glory of Sai and his divine teachings with more insight to the aspirants. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnuhu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahmam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We have been discussing about the yogic practices of Sainath Maharaj and how Baba rescued Kaparday's son from plague in the previous episode. Now, at the close of the 7th chapter of Sri Sai Satcharitra, Hemat Panji has recorded an astounding Leela that reflects the love of Sai Baba and how he anticipated their wishes and movements. Mr. Nana Sahib Chandorkar, who was a great devotee of Baba, was Mamlatdar at Nandurbar in Khandesh. He got an order of transfer to Pandharpur and was asked to take immediate charge. Nana Sahib, being an ardent devotee of Sai Baba, never takes any decision without consulting or taking the blessings of Baba. But in this situation, he was not given enough time even to go for Baba's darshan, which is very unfortunate, though he had to en route Shirdi to reach Pandharpur, his new office location. But Nana Sahib decided, come what may. He hurriedly made all the arrangement, desiring in his heart for Baba's darshan. In fact, Pandharpur is almost 350 kilometers away from Shirdi. Nana Sahib was also worried about his future visits to Baba, as he will be stationed at Pandharpur and cannot frequent to Shirdi. His heart was already sobbing. Nana Sahib, with his wife and family circle, thought of going to Shirdi, as he wanted to pay his respects to Baba. He must go en route Shirdi while travelling from Khandesh to Pandharpur. Hence, Nana Sahib Chandorkar did not send a letter to anybody, nor did he send any message. He gathered together all his belongings and got into the carriage hurriedly. Nana started immediately and must have approached Kopargaon. Now, devotees, listen carefully to the miracle that happened at Shirdi in truth at that time. Baba was in the masjid sitting and chatting with Mahalsapati, Appa Shinde and Kashiram. There was not much crowd, and at that moment there was a stir in the masjid. Baba at once said, let us all four do some bhajan. And Baba himself initiated. The doors of Pandharpur have opened. We can sing joyously. Baba started to sing the bhajan zealously. I am going to Pandharpur. There I will stay. There I will stay. That is the abode of my master. While Baba was singing the bhajan, Nana Sahib was near the stream at the outskirts, and Baba and the devotees who were sitting around followed him. They were engrossed in their love for Pandharpur. Just then Nana arrived. Nana Sahib bowed down at Baba's feet with his wife, and until then none has informed Baba about Nana's transfer. But our omniscient Sai already learnt the news. In fact, This transfer might have materialized at the will of Sai Maharaj. As soon as Nana entered the masjid, Baba rejoiced and said, "Nana, have you come?" Nana said, "Baba, I have been transferred to Pandharpur. I feel there should be a providential reason for narrating this miracle here. Usually, when Maharashtrians gets transferred to Pandharpur, they will be thrilled about it, as Pandharpur is regarded as the heaven on earth. Many scriptures affirm that having a darshan in Pandharpur is very meritorious. Innumerable saints such as Tukaram and others have sung the glory of Pandharpur, and legend holds many divine miracles about this divine land. It is considered as the major holy place in Maharashtra, and one can experience the essence of devotion at this holy land. Everyone will be rejoicing in ecstasy, and every other person will be addressed as "Hey Vittal, Hey Ram," or "Hey Panduranga." And this behavior of the residents of Pandharpur is very natural, and it's just an outcome of their love for their god Panduranga. They will always be absorbed in the thoughts of Vittal, and hence could only pronounce his divine name even while engaging in their daily affairs. So, it's apparent that a person will be captivated in divine joy just by making one visit to Pandharpur. Then, what made Nana Sahib Chandorkar to hesitate or worry when he is officially transferred to Pandharpur? That is because the love and devotion Chandorkar had on Sainath was unparalleled to anything else in this world. Though he was transferred to a place called as heaven on earth, he was not elated, because his ultimate bliss rests at the divine feet of his Sainath, and he craved that he might miss the blessing of having Baba's darshan. This is termed as Prema Bhakti. Just to appreciate this loving devotion of Chandorkar, Baba sang this bhajan, "I have to go to Pandharpur and I have to stay on there." We all long to go to Kashi at least once in our lifetime, stay there for a couple of days and have a hearty darshan. This being the case, when Chandorkar is transferred to a place like Pandharpur, which is called as South Kashi, how joyful he should be. Moreover, he is designated as Mamlatdar, who will be eligible for an easy and spontaneous darshan as and when he desires. Otherwise, a devotee had to stand for hours, and on festival and Ekadasi days, one had to spend a day or two in the queue to have the darshan of Panduranga. Though Chandorkar is completely aware that his devotion to Baba bore a fruit by getting an order of transfer to the Holy Land Pandharpur, still his heart is not ready to stay away from Baba, and he can only second that darshan when compared to Baba's darshan, which is an expression of his prema bhakti. Hence, when he had the opportunity to have Sai's darshan, he beseeched Baba, "Baba, please accompany me to Pandharpur and stay with me there." This solicitation was not necessary, as the three devotees told Nana Sahib that Baba was already in the joyous mood of going to Pandharpur, and the verses of the bhajan also indicated the same. Nana was extremely surprised, and listening to the Leela, he and his family members felt elated, and immediately all of them placed their heads at the holy feet of Baba and were deeply emotionally moved. Now, Hemat Panji moves on to the next chapter, that is the 8th chapter, and glorifies it as Baba's Narajanma Mahima and Baba's Bhiksha. The author has penned down Ovis as an introduction to Narajanma Mahima. Let us now listen to it. In this wonderful universe, God has created billions of creatures or beings. Hemat Panji says, as per Hindu Shastra calculation, there are 84 lakhs of creatures. These are divided into various categories such as oviparous, which produce young ones by means of eggs that are hatched after they have been laid by the parent, then parasites and mammals. Human being is categorized as a mammal. God's Leelas are beyond the intellect. It is impossible to know them totally. By means of a store of good deeds from the past births and by accumulating good fortune, a person gets human birth. Therefore, every moment should be used well. Even by making Herculean efforts like Bhagirath trying to hold the Ganges in his hair, it is not possible to obtain human birth. Because of destiny, unexpectedly we can get it. It should not be wasted carelessly. A snake charmer is very shrewd. He does not perform before a layman or a novice. He expects the right audience which will appreciate his skill. Similarly, after creating innumerable insects, animals, birds, and plants, God was surprised and disappointed. He felt that his creation was meaningless. In the infinite expanse of the universe, the sun, the moon, and the innumerable stars were there. But there was nobody who wondered even for a moment about the Creator. Not a single living creature had even given a thought to the motive behind the whole creation of the Lord. God thought, "My whole creation is futile till such time as I have not created a being who will be sharp and intelligent and who will appreciate the prosperity and abundance of my creation." The other species do not have the knowledge. They are born and they die. They do not understand the past, the present, and the future, and nor the existence of God. Having thus thought to himself, God created man who with his sense of discretion would know his powers. My glory is limitless. My powers are incomparable. This creation is the result of my Maya. With wonder, he will realize that all this is the sport of my Maya. He only will gain knowledge. He only will be able to concentrate on me and realize me. He only will be benefited, then only will the creation be complete. The fulfillment of my creation lies in the great happiness of my spectators. Man will be grateful when he will realize my empire and that I am the whole and the sole controller or holder of the reins. Life is not to be lived only for doing work, to fulfill one's wishes to acquire wealth and for earning money. Until one survives, one should study the philosophy of life. That is the aim of life. Guru and Brahman are not two separate entities. One who has realized the oneness, he has practiced devotion. This realization is the easiest way to overcome Maya. Those wise men who have faith, who have acquired knowledge, and who are non-attached, who have realized that Atma Tattva, which is experienced by them, know that they are really the fortunate devotees. Having understood this essence of life, entrusts the intellect to perform all the duties befitting the karma. Let the righteousness of the intellect be left to it. One should act without seeking the fruits of action. Therefore, till the body is not decaying, try to acquire the knowledge of the soul. Do not waste even a moment of human life. Hemant Panji continues to talk about the significance of human life. He says it is acquired by utmost good luck. By God's grace, to be near the feet of Sai is a rarer opportunity. Although there exist different forms of life, human life is superior to all. From where have we come? And who has created us? Such questions can be answered only by discerning human mind. God's Leelas are beyond the intellect. It is impossible to know them totally. But that human being should be considered fortunate who is able to know even a fraction of God's ways. Hemant Panji says, 4 things are common to all the creatures, viz. Food, sleep, fear, and sexual union. If the whole life is spent in these 4 ways, that is, eating, sleeping, being constantly afraid, and indulging in sex, then what would be the difference between the human and the animal? Oh, you decide using discretion. Hemant Panji ridicules if this is the only fulfillment of a human body, then the life of a tree would not be less valuable. Even the bellows breathe and dogs maintain their body. That man is independent, he is without fear, he is free and eternal if this awareness is present. Then it can be said that life is fulfilled. In the case of man, he is endowed with a special faculty with knowledge, with the help of which he can attain God vision, which is impossible in any other birth. It is for this reasons gods envy man's fortune and aspire to be born as men on earth to get their final deliverance. Hemant Panji is elucidating man's endeavor. Realizing how precious the human life is and knowing that death is certain and may snatch us at any time, we should be ever alert to achieve the object of our life. We should not make the least delay, but make every possible haste to gain our object. In the childhood, a person is engrossed in play. In youth, in wooing women. In the later days, old age enfeebles the body and one is always suffering from infirmities. Childhood, youth, and old age are the stages through which everybody goes. But how naturally they come and go is not understood by anybody. What is seen is destroyed the same moment. There are such innumerable stages, but seemingly they look one. Similarly, the body which is perceivable at one moment will not be the same the next moment. This is beautifully quoted in a poem by an author as men may come and men may go, but I go on forever, which means that humans are mortal, but nature is eternal. To quote an instance, the water we see in a flowing river is not the same throughout. It keeps changing every second. The water that flows is different. Likewise, every moment our body is subject to lots of changes. Many cells grow, few dies. They constantly divide and replace old cells with new ones. Though we cannot see those changes, they are scientifically proven. Though human body is short-lived, it is only through this that the abode of purity of God can be reached. Let me share another interesting incident to support the above philosophy. Baba had lit Nandadeep in almost 5 different places in the proximity of Dwarakamai. Nandadeep means incessant lamp. The light of these lamps will look similar, but the rays that emerge out of these lamps will be different every moment. Quoting this as an example, Hemat Panji says, human body is similar to the rays of the lamp. It is so unstable and uncertain. But in spite of these drawbacks and defects, the special value of the human body is that man has got the capacity to acquire knowledge. It is only due to the human knowledge that one can think of the perishable and transitory nature of the body itself and of the world and get a disgust for the sense enjoyments and discriminate between the unreal and the real and thus attain God vision. Devotees, Hemat Panji has quoted many illustrations to support his thoughts, and each example narrated by him are so appropriate and enlightening. Of course, Sri Sai Satcharitra, as professed by our Sai Maharaj, is written by him through Hemat Panji. So, undoubtedly, it is a divine treasure that has been bestowed upon us by Sai Baba. Hemat Panji says, success is achieved in proportion to the faith in all these. Depending upon the intentness of the mind, success varies. Just as a widower is most anxious to get himself married to a new bride, or just as a king leaves no stone unturned to seek his lost son, so with all earnestness and speed we should strive to attain our end, that is self-realization. After giving this stunning explanation, Hemat Panji declares thus, let us end this chapter now, because there is no end to Baba's good deeds. In the next chapter, I will relate some other stories for my own well-being. I have been unable to eradicate this ego of mine, though I am trying to do so. Who am I? I cannot understand. Let Sai tell his own stories. Before closing this chapter, Hemant Pant is continuing to talk about how one should proceed to attain our goal of life. He says the most effective and speedy way to gain our object is to approach a worthy saint or sage or a Sadguru who has himself attained God vision. What cannot be achieved by hearing religious lectures and study of religious works is easily obtained in the company of such divine souls. Just as the sun alone gives light, which all the stars put together cannot do, so the Sadguru alone imparts spiritual wisdom, which all the sacred books and sermons cannot infuse. The virtues of forgiveness, calmness, disinterestedness, charity, benevolence, control of mind and body, egolessness, etc. are observed by the disciples as they are being practiced in such pure and holy company. This enlightens their minds and lifts them up spiritually. Sai Baba was such a sage or Sadguru. Though he acted as a fakir, he was always engrossed in the self. He always loved all beings in whom he saw God or divinity. By pleasures, he was not elated and was not depressed by misfortunes. A king and a pauper were the same to him. He, whose glance would turn a beggar into a king, used to beg his food from door to door in Shiradi. He will tell of the importance of human life and will narrate why he believed in being a mendicant, of Baijabai's devotion, and what was his state of mind during the meals will be elucidated in the next chapter. But this chapter closes with the details about the procedure and discipline adopted by Baba in begging his food. The procedure adopted by Baba in taking alms is termed as Brahmram Madhukari Bhiksha. Brahmaram means honey. Honey bees collect pollen and nectar from many flowers. By this process, it does not hurt one flower but takes a little from various flowers. Similarly, to not burden just one family by begging at their doors and evenly distributing the responsibility to many families, the saints beg in various houses, and this procedure is termed as Brahmari Madhukari Bhiksha. Devotees, please listen carefully. It's a responsibility of a householder to serve and feed the saints and sages. It is indeed a great blessing to the families that feed the saints as their sins are annihilated. The Brahmari Madhukari Bhiksha is also known as Madhukari Bhiksha. Madhu means women. Kari denotes karam, that is hand. So, the alms that are given through the hands of women to saints are termed as Madhukari Bhiksha. But to conclude, Baba's procedure can be called as Madhukari Bhiksha. Now, the author lists down the houses in which Baba stood as a beggar, the blessings derived by those householders, how Baba went for his begging rounds, the sequence in which Baba begged his food, the path through which he trekked, and his attire are very significant and mysterious. Hemat Panji has expounded these topics in detail, and let us reserve them for the next episode. Bow to Sri Sai. Peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.